Hi, my name is Marcy Neuendorf. I go by Marcy, and I'm a volunteer at the National Museum of the Army. So I was active duty for 20 years in the Army, and I retired, so I didn't have anything else to do, and I really like volunteering because that's part of what you do. And I thought the Army Museum, since it was brand new and very close to where I live, would be a good place to start. Oh gosh, it's hard to say because there's so many different rooms and places. I really liked the Cold War because I am a Vietnam veteran, and so was my husband, and I could talk to Vietnam veterans in the corner, if you will, and welcome them home. I really liked Army and Society because it showed how the Army and the Society works together with the Wright brothers and their plane and the radar system from the Army Signal Corps that they made, and then the Army and the civilian airports used it for years and years. And I think that was interesting to see how, although the Army made some things and sometimes the civilians did, they worked together to make it better. I also liked the Hello Girls because I had no idea who the Hello Girls were until a couple of years ago when I saw the movie. And they were the ladies that were contracted from the Army to go overseas and take some of the jobs that the soldiers were doing, which is the communication from one unit to another from them, and so the soldiers could do other jobs. And they were not in the Army, although they wore uniforms. And that story is really a neat story to tell. And of course, I like the third floor, which a lot of people don't go up to, but we're trying to get more and more of the docents and the other volunteers to say, going up to the third floor because it's got a beautiful view from there. My daughters, who are in their 30s, really were excited, for lack of better terms, about there's 4 or 5 videos about the Medal of Honor winners, and it really goes into a lot of detail on how they got their medals and what they did for the country. And that was very, very interesting. And then there's a big board on what the medals are and how they go all the way from the Medal of Honor all the way down. And my daughters could see the medals that their father and I had received during our time. So all in all, every floor is really a neat place to go. Oh, meeting the people. I really enjoy the visitors. And the reason I enjoy the visitors is because of all of the staff that has put in a heck of a lot of time and energy into teaching us everything there is to know. And I don't know everything, but I'm learning. And they just put their heart and soul in it. But the visitors that come, they're mostly in awe of how many artifacts and how it's displayed, and the interactivities that they have that unfortunately we haven't been able to use yet because of the pandemic. But there's a lot of stuff in there that eventually we'll be able to show and let everyone know that there's things for everyone to do, from children all the way to us old folks. Well, I'm a nurse and I'm a female. And so, like I said about the Hello Girls and the Red Cross girls, and it was just interesting to see that there are a lot more females that have done things throughout the years than people know. When I was in class for volunteering to be a docent, one of the men in the room said he never saw any nurses. There weren't females over there. And I said, well, yes, they were, but it was a good thing you didn't see us, because if you saw us, you were either real sick or got shot. So he and I talked several times about it. And he said, I just never thought of nurses being there, because what they had in their platoons were the medics, or if they had any nurses, they were the male nurses that were in units that were on patrol. Most of the Vietnam vets and families will tell you this, they don't talk about it because I think because of the stigma of the war. The draft was a problem, the draft dodgers, the big protests they had. So we just keep it under our sleeves. But when I see someone with a Vietnam veterans hat on, I say to them, welcome home, and say, I was in Vietnam. Then they ask me when and where, and I ask them the same questions, and they actually talk about it. And they're thankful that they have that moment to talk to someone that really does know what it was like, that it was hot, there were monsoons, that it was a hard fought war, although it was not a war, and that some people did care. I had a wife come back to me after I talked to her husband and said thank you, and because he doesn't talk, and he sat down, and although we were 6 feet away and we had our mask on, we had a very good conversation about what it's like being a Vietnam vet. Oh, I came from a very close-knit family, and so did Stephen. We weren't married, but we got engaged in Hong Kong on R&R. But their family and church would send me care packages, and my family would send me care packages, and I'd get anything from box pizza mixes, because we would have electric skillets, and you can make a really good pizza in an electric skillet. Anyways, we thought so then. I'm not sure I would really like it if I did it nowadays, but it was really good in Vietnam. And I would get hair ribbons, because we could wear our hair down in pigtails. I have pictures of me in pigtails in my uniforms. And I would get all sorts of just little things, candy on Christmas, and candy for Easter to give to the kids. I was lucky. I had family support that a lot of people didn't. I think that some of the females over there that didn't have the support took it a lot harder than I did. I think whenever you have support, you're okay. I think the thing that I would like everyone to know is that women can survive in the Army, and now they can even do more than I could. You can be all you can be. I feel that it teaches you discipline. It teaches you that hard work does pay off, and it teaches you that you can do what is best for you. Both Stephen and I stayed in the Army over 20 years, and we had a family. We have two, I think, beautiful daughters, and we both did very well as far as promotions go. And we decided before we even had children that if we had children, it was going to be us, not just the mom that was in charge of getting the kids to the dentist and getting the school clothes and taking them to soccer practice or whatever they needed to do. So Stephen and I split that pretty equally, very equally, and it worked out for us. So I feel that women can have it all and be all they can be if they have someone that is going to be their partner and make compromises together. Oh, everything. It is, it's very good. The artifacts they have there are extremely well kept, and they're framed in a way that you really feel like you're there. And my daughters and I spent 5 hours there and said we were going to have to come back. We've lived in the area for more than 20 years, so we went to the Smithsonian's and all the museums several times, and when visitors came, we'd go. And Danielle and Tiffany both said that that's one of the museums they're going to put on their have to take visitors to. And of course, there's several of my family members that want to come and see the Army Museum because both Stephen and I were in the Army, and I have an older brother that was in the Army. So it's going to be a great museum for years and years to come.